This is the mini solo series, The Things We Carry, small moments and themes that keep me thinking way after the conversations on the Life Shift podcast. Hey there, it's just me again. Over the years, I've heard so many moments and patterns in all of these conversations that I get to have. And these solo episodes are going to give me space to sit with those themes and see what they might mean. So I'm glad you're here. So lately, I've been paying attention to the moments when people actually choose to begin again. Not these big movie moments, these cinematic moments, but really the quieter points where someone realizes something has to shift. Those moments feel tender and a little uncertain, and the kind where you sense change moving underneath the surface long before anything actually happens on the outside. Lydia's story stayed with me for that reason, because she talked about waking up each morning, facing these urges she did not want, and the patterns she no longer recognized, and this growing discomfort with the life that she was living. There wasn't a big collapse, just a steady noticing that something was off. She described how small choices helped her build trust in herself again, these slow, intentional steps, not something super flashy. And that sense of self-respect grew over time, almost quietly, the way new habits tend to form when no one is watching. Kelly's journey touches that same theme, but in a different way. She made a decision to bet on herself before she felt ready, and she talked about that mix of fear and possibility that came with it. Not a leap into the unknown, kind of more like a step forward with, shaky legs. And what stood out to me was how much community really shaped her courage. Hearing her describe how people showed up for her reminded me that starting over usually doesn't happen alone. Sometimes we move because someone else reflects something true back to us. And then there's Ryan, who shared how complicated it can be to walk away from a life that looks super stable on the outside. He talked about the pull of familiarity, even when that familiarity is draining, that fear of disappointing people, and the worry about stepping off a path you once believed you were supposed to follow. And his choice to listen to what felt more aligned, even when it didn't make perfect sense yet, felt super honest and really grounded. And it reminded me that starting over is often less about the bold reinvention and more about telling yourself the truth. All of these stories bring me back to my own moments of beginning again, times when I had to let go of these versions of myself that I thought were stuck. Times when I stepped into something new with, more questions than answers. And I think there's grief in that, but there's also relief. And there's a quiet kind of openness that shows up when you finally stop forcing yourself into an old shape. I'm still learning how to navigate these spaces. Sometimes I feel super steady, and other days I'm just totally unsure. But I keep noticing that starting again rarely feels clean or confident. It's more like adjusting as you go and collecting small pieces of clarity, and then giving yourself permission to move at a pace that feels true to you. So if you're listening and you feel a shift happening in your own life, maybe pause for a moment. Notice where the pull is coming from. Notice if you're standing in your own line in the sand moment. You don't have to rush it or make it perfect. You just have to be willing to listen. Starting over does not mean you failed. It means you're paying attention. It means you're giving yourself a chance to grow in a direction that feels more like you. And that is more than enough.